Hey there, TikTakers! Tik and Tak keep finding many interesting things in their travels around the world. As you may know, they love discovering new things about the human body, and this time around they decided to focus on something specific. The fact that some humans are more flexible than others. This really caught their attention, and so today we'll be talking about hyperlaxity. We say someone has hyperlaxity when they have a higher flexibility and a much higher range of movement in most of their joints, tendons, muscles, and cartilages, compared to normal individuals. Many have hyperlaxity to a small degree, but in a small percentage of people the condition is much more pronounced. People like that are also said to have hypermobility, or the Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome in very specific or extreme cases. This is a hereditary condition which affects more women than men, and it tends to be more intense during childhood, to then become less pronounced during adult life. Just like with any other condition, you'll have to consult a specialist to get a reliable diagnosis. If you do, you will have to do what's known as the Beighton tests, which are 5 positions where the joints are bent to their limit and are tested in 9 points. They are 9 points because 4 of those 5 positions are evaluated in both arms or hands. An adult will be diagnosed with hyperlaxity if they are tested positive in 5 of those 9 points, and in the case of children, they have to test positive in 6 points. The tests are performed with the pinky finger, the thumb, the wrist, how close to the floor we can bend without bending the knees, and the extension of our knees. As we mentioned before, there is a genetic component behind hyperlaxity. There are 2 essential properties behind the muscles, tendons, and ligaments. First, there is elasticity, which is the ability they have to stretch and then go back to their original shape. And then there is plasticity, which is their capacity to change shape and adapt to a new shape. Collagen and elastin are 2 proteins in charge of providing these properties. And when there is more elastin than collagen, there is more elasticity. However, this isn't always a good thing, TikTakers, because it makes the muscles, tendons, and ligaments more fragile. And because of this, people with hyperlaxity tend to suffer injuries more frequently. They tend to experience pain in their muscles and joints fairly often and tend to develop tendinitis, sprains, backaches, hernias, and many other related symptoms. Fortunately, it's not all bad for people with hyperlaxity, since this condition also helps them perform better in specific physical activities. For example, who wouldn't want to move around like a true acrobat? And people with this condition can also have an advantage when playing some musical instruments like the violin and the piano, since they have extra flexibility to constantly move their fingers in not so comfortable positions. It is common for people with hyperlaxity to work with physical therapists to alleviate some of their symptoms. This condition cannot be treated with medicines, but there are other things that can be done to help prevent injuries. One of them is doing yoga, and if you don't like yoga, there are other exercises and relaxation techniques that can be used. It is also important to do stretches every day and have an overall healthy lifestyle. Now, if you suffer from hyperlaxity, you should definitely avoid extreme sports as well as sports of direct contact, since they would put you at risk of suffering severe injuries. Did you know about hyperlaxity before watching this video, TikTakers? And does any of you have this condition? If you do, please let us know in the comments how you found out you had this condition and how it affects your daily life. We'll be reading the comments! If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, and if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode!